Oh my god. Man, screw this shit. I've spent the last 8 months trying to convince myself that Silksong is a goddamn masterpiece. But this whole time, I cannot get rid of this gut feeling telling me otherwise. If you've played the game and finished it, you can probably relate to how I feel. Don't get me wrong, Silksong is an amazing game and has definitely lived up to its hype. A lot of us finished the game with really high regards, but there's still a lot of people out there with nitpicky comments about the game. Hollow Knight 1 sits on an overwhelmingly positive 97% status on Steam, while Silksong sits on a very positive 93. That 4% difference may not seem like a lot, but it might have been why Silksong didn't win Game of the Year. It's crazy because Silksong did end up winning the jackpot of game launches. Loyal fans silk posting for years trying to get anything out of Team Cherry just for them to be bamboozled, shadow dropping the most wishlisted trailer in Steam's history like it's nothing, and giving everyone just 2 weeks to prepare. And when I say they won the jackpot, I mean they won the mother freaking jackpot. They were in the right place at the right time and everything worked out for them. Early to mid 2025 was one of the best times to get into gaming. Gaming PCs were affordable, handhelds were exploding in the market, and everybody and your mother wanted to play Baldi's Basics Classic Remastered on the go. There were no dominant AAA games except for, I think, Donkey Kong Bonanza something. Team Cherry put the cherry on top by only asking for $20 in this economy. Did I mention that Silksong crashed every single game platform on release? I had to wait, I still remember this day, 4 hours just to buy the game. And then came the Rampapocalypse, just 2 months later. Fucking AI, man, always ruining everything. So it's a bit weird to me how the world, industry, and even Faith itself was on Team Cherry's side, but they didn't even bother showing up for the Game Awards after working so hard for a spot in it. And surprisingly enough, they still won Best Action/Adventure Game, but we'll get into that in a minute. And sure, let's not forget about the elephant in the room. A little Francais game was having its moment as well. But I'm here to talk about Silksong, so you might want to sit down for this one. It's pretty rough. Silksong is a 9 out of 10 game. I think it's become quite difficult for both journalists and players to claim Silksong is a Metroidvania masterpiece. First off, the damage. The highest damage a single enemy can do in Hollow Knight is 2 masks of damage, and these are mostly from late game bosses. In Silksong, this damn caterpillar from the starting area does 2 masks of damage. You're trying to tell me that these two are equivalent in strength? It makes the entirety of the first game look like a tutorial. You start off the game with 5 masks. Every time you get hit, you lose 2. So in theory, you can only get hit 3 times. When you find all your mask shards for your 6th mask, guess what? You can still only get hit 3 times. This is something that definitely got overlooked within its 7-year development cycle. Secondly, the scaling. When I first played this game, I thought I was playing the 2D equivalent of Elden Ring. But then I realized I was actually playing Dark Souls 2. Why are there so many damn gauntlet fights? It's like every area is just jam-packed with a gank fight. Why, Team Cherry? Why? Why? Let me make one thing clear. I love boss fights in Silksong. In fact, some of them require you to be creative in order to defeat them. But I hate gank fights. These little critters are so fucking annoying. They corner you consistently and put you in the most impossible to dodge situation. Winning a gank fight feels lucky instead of rewarding. Why do you think so many people hate Bilewater? This entire area is a poison shit swamp, and one of you 3 had the bright idea to combine a boss fight with waves of gank fights. No, I'm sorry, I can't. There's a reason I said the word scaling earlier. In order to increase the difficulty, they added more gank fights. Call it a cheap or lazy design choice.
Always more.
But I feel like once again this was something overlooked. If you were to remove all of the flying critters from gank fights, all of a sudden, poof, you're looking at a 9.5 out of 10. Maybe even a 9.8. Who knows? We're almost getting there. It's that simple. Stop crowding my screen with useless cockroaches. Thirdly, runbacks. Now, personally, I don't mind these, but it might be a skill issue for some. Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 all have at least one horrendous runback. If FromSoft can realize it was an issue, I'm sure you can too. When Elden Ring was being developed, they realized bonfire should actually be right before a boss fight so that the player can get more reps in. This way they can spend more time and energy just focusing on the patterns. Silksong has a few unnecessarily long ones. The only valid runback I've seen talked about is the one for the last judge. It's supposed to be a final test to see if you're ready for the horrors of Act 2. But man, the others, they just don't make sense to me. The infamous runback to Grawl is like what, 40 seconds? Then you have to do like what, 6 waves of enemies? And then you finally get to fight the actual boss. You need to rely on luck and skill just to get a couple of reps in, and that's not a good formula. Don't even get me started on high halls. Man, look, I get it. You guys had a lot of fun making this project, and you really poured your hearts out with this one. But somebody has to do the technical work, and in this case, I think you guys just overlooked it. Getting real feedback is a crucial part to improving your game. When the game first came out, you thought people were struggling with early game boss fights and nerfed them instead. It's as if our feedback is going right over your head or something. And that's it. These 3 things are what I believe held Silksong back from its true potential. The funny thing is, it all could have been fixed with a couple of mods, or maybe even an update from you guys, just patching everything. So far, I've been talking about the extra 1 out of 10 it could have gotten. I think it's time to talk about the 9 out of 10 it has gotten. And oh boy, a completely hand-drawn world that immerses you into experience and makes you feel like a lost child trying to find meaning in life. There's a reason it won Best Action/Adventure Game, because the game really is an adventure filled with ups and downs. You get amazing boss fights that have surpassed everyone's expectations, a deep philosophical story about Hornet's past and the savior complex she has for Farloon. We live in a world where AI slop has taken over everything, and it's so refreshing to see something made out of love stand out and stand out hard. The game tests you in different ways with its level design, constantly asking you, can you find your way without a compass, tools, or your favorite crest? The game slowly builds confidence in you to maybe one day attempt speedrunning it. The game literally wants you to evolve as a gamer, and I cannot wait to play the DLC if it ever comes out. Team Cherry, I applaud you. The Steam Award for Game of the Year isn't out of pity, it is proof that gamers do not think like journalists. We do not hold your flaws accountable and strip you from your merit. We see you for the experience you have given us and the memories we will cherish. I've yet to play Expedition Tretoir. I'm sure that's an amazing game too. But between the both, I will always be drawn to Silksong because I will never forget how much I hate Bile Water.